Everyone, today Jesus talks about being fruitful. I am the true vine, and my Father is the vineyard keeper. He removes any of my branches that don't produce fruit, and he prunes any branch that produces fruit so that it will produce even more fruit. You are already pruned because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. A branch can't produce fruit by itself, but must remain in the vine. Likewise, you can't produce fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, and you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, then you will produce much fruit. Without me, you can't do anything. If you don't remain in me, you'll be like a branch that's thrown out and dries up. Those branches are gathered up, thrown in a fire and burned. But if you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask for whatever you want and it will be done for you. My Father is glorified when you produce much fruit, and in this way, you prove that you are my disciples. One of my favorite metaphors that Jesus uses, and it shows up a lot, is the idea of fruitfulness. That our lives should show some evidence of our connection to God. It's not as simple as, plug one thing in and you get an easy result. But if we are connected to Jesus, if we're trying to live by his way, there should be some evidence in our life. And what is that fruit? He doesn't really go into it here. I think the fruit of the Spirit is the easiest example that we can go to, that we're familiar with. Qualities like love and patience and peace. If you want to know whether you're connected to God, look for the presence of that in your life. Now, one of the interesting things about what Jesus says here, aside from the fact that we can't do anything unless we're connected to him, is that even when we are connected, even if we are producing good, well, it's not always easy. He uses this idea of pruning, right? That if you're gardening, if you're taking care of a tree or a plant, a good gardener is not going to just let it grow. You may plant it and take care of it then, but you're actually going to keep taking care of it. And that's what God is doing for us. And sometimes that pruning process, well, I doubt it's pleasant for the plants, and it's often not pleasant for us. Sometimes we experience loss and pain, and it's actually God trying to make us more fruitful. He's not punishing us, but sometimes the things that we endure can make us produce more good. I don't know what that's going to look like for you, but I know we can't avoid that process. Jesus himself is the perfect example of what it looks like to endure difficulties for the sake of what it can produce for others. And so, as painful as it might be sometimes, we hope that the same happens for us. If we are truly connected to Christ, there's going to be evidence in our life. Whenever we try and do good on our own power, when we think we can rely on our own talents or smarts or money or whatever it is, it's not going to get very far. But when we are connected to him, who knows how we can grow.